What's up guys, my name is Ace, and it looks like we have a new best shotgun in Warzone. And in today's video, I just wanted to go over the details of this new setup and why I feel it has taken over and become the best to use. And you've probably already guessed it by the thumbnail of this. This is the R9-0, however, not the basic R9-0, because as far as I'm aware at least, the R9-0 hasn't actually been touched at all. It hasn't been buffed or anything. However, if you guys saw yesterday's earlier video, you'll know that behind the scenes with this latest update, Infinity Ward added Dragon's Breath rounds to the R9-0. And even though this wasn't mentioned anywhere in the patch notes, it is there, and unfortunately, the challenge to unlock this is currently bugged. So the challenge requires you to get 10 sliding kills, and I've tried to unlock that many times using various setups, and I couldn't get any sliding kills to count for that. So it's not working at the moment. I hope that'll get fixed soon. However, a lot of people were telling me that you can get these Dragon's Breath rounds if you buy a bundle. So I went ahead and bought this bundle because I wanted to do this testing for Warzone. I don't recommend buying this bundle if you're just trying to get these Dragon's Breath rounds, because I'm sure that bug challenge will get fixed at some point. But yeah, the key here is the Dragon's Breath rounds, and let's get into the testing. So what I did here in all of these tests is against an enemy with full health as well as full armor plates. And first up, I tested without Dragon's Breath rounds. With this, I'm using the choke, as well as the longest barrel that helps with damage range, and a 5mW laser just to maximize our range and pellet hitting potential. And you can see here, the maximum 2-hit kill range with this particular setup is about 4 meters. Anything beyond that, it's going to take you at least 3 shots to kill. And this is really important with the R9-0 because the R9-0 fires 2 shots at a time really quickly, and then there's a delay before the next 2 shots that you can fire really quickly. So if you're able to get a 2-shot kill, your time to kill potential is incredible with this gun, and it's actually one of the best in the game against fully armored enemies, with the only exception really being 1-shot kill weapons. The problem with this though is the moment you need that 3rd shot to kill, your time to kill potential plummets because there's that delay between the 2nd and 3rd shot with the R9-0. And this is why, up until this point, the R9-0 has always been a pretty good shotgun to use in Warzone, but it hasn't really been regarded as the best. That spot has been reserved for the Origin 12 lately because even though the rate of fire is noticeably slower with the Origin 12, it's much more consistent. You can just consistently spam those shots out. And this means with the Origin 12, the difference between 2 shots or 3 shots to kill isn't nearly as punishing as with the R9-0. On top of this, our 2-hit kill potential against a fully armored enemy with the Origin 12 stacked full of the best attachments is actually 4.5 meters, so it's about half a meter better than the R9-0 is. However, this is where the Dragon's Breath rounds come in, and I did that same testing using the same attachments, although this time I also added the Dragon's Breath rounds with that blueprint that I bought in the bundle. And you can see here, our maximum 2-hit kill potential is now 8.5 meters, and you can see just how fast you're able to kill somebody that has full health and full armor. It is nearly instant. And to top all of this off, this is pretty forgiving as well. You don't even have to necessarily hit all of your pellets. You don't have to be super precise with your shots at this range with the Dragon's Breath rounds. You just have to be generally on target. You want to be hitting like at least half of your pellets, it looks like, and you still get that crazy 2-shot kill potential. Now, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed 2-hit kill potential. If you're really sloppy with your shots and you're only hitting a couple pellets per shot, yeah, it's going to take you that 3rd shot. I'm just saying that you don't need to be super precise and try to hit every single pellet possible. But taking a deeper look at our time to kill potential here, this is literally just 200 milliseconds if you're getting that 2-shot kill. Assuming you're timing your shots properly. Of course, with the R9-0, you do have to make sure that you have an even number of shells currently loaded into the gun to make sure you don't have to deal with that delay. But as long as you start shooting with an even number of shots, you get those 2 shots, one after another, nearly instantly at just 200 milliseconds apart, which gives you a nearly instant kill. Comparing that to the Origin 12, its 2-shot kill potential is 223 milliseconds, and keep in mind with this that our 2-shot kill potential is only 4.5 meters compared to the Dragon's Breath R9-0's range of 8.5 meters. So yeah, when it comes to shotguns at this point, there is nothing that currently competes with the R9-0 Dragon's Breath rounds, and this thing is going to be absolutely decimating everything in close quarter situations. Now, just to be clear here, this is nowhere near as powerful as that bugged out underbarrel shotgun on the FR556. That was completely broken and also unintentional. Whereas with the R9-0 Dragon's Breath rounds, this does appear to be intentional and it will be very powerful up close. But at the same time, you really have to respect the fact that this is a shotgun. beyond that 8.5 meters, SMGs are going to be annihilating you. But if you can close that distance, you will dominate with this gun. Now, for anybody that's curious about the best setup that you can use with the R90 in Warzone, this is it. And honestly, there's not much room for variety with this. Most of the attachments on this gun are practically useless, and all of these attachments are simply the best. The only thing that could maybe be swapped out is you could swap sleight of hand for stippled grip, but your sprint out time is already going to be incredible with the 5mm laser, so yeah, this is why we're going to run it with the choke for that tight pellet spread, the Forge Tack Sentry, which gives us a very slight increase to our damage range. It's barely noticeable, but I mean, there's no reason to not use it, really. Then, of course, you get that 5mm laser, so we get that nice, tight hipfire spread and amazing sprint out time. Obviously, we've got the Dragon's Breath rounds. That's sort of the key to this. And then finally, like I said, we're using sleight of hand here. And the reason I'm using sleight of hand is with this gun, it's often really nice to be able to just quickly pop some shells back in after a fight, so that you're fully reloaded and ready to go for your next fight, and then you run into fewer situations where you screw yourself over by ending up with an odd number of shots in your gun, and then after you fire your first shot, you have to wait for the delay before you hit your second shot, and if you do that, your time to kill potential is destroyed. But yeah, there you go. That is the new best shotgun to use in Warzone, and if you are somebody that likes using a shotgun in Warzone, I definitely recommend giving it a go. Now, for me, I'm not huge on shotguns. I might run this on like one or maybe two of my class setups for clearing buildings. But at the end of the day, it's still not going to be quite as versatile as an SMG. And therefore, for close quarters, I'm still often going to be using an SMG. I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware that this is now the best shotgun. And as for my opinion on this, first up, I'm really annoyed that the challenge is currently bugged, so you can't unlock this currently without spending money. Now, I'm not going to assume that this was done maliciously and they purposely have it bugged to encourage people to buy the bundle, although I think a lot of people will end up going there with that. But having said that, I still think this is really frustrating and annoying, and I hope they get that bug worked out soon, because it is a bit sketchy that they're offering something so powerful that you currently can only buy. So at the moment, this is a little bit on the pay-to-win side, although I think unintentionally, I hope unintentionally. But yeah, aside from that, once this bug does get worked out and everybody can earn it fairly without having to spend any money, I do think this might end up being a bit too powerful. We'll definitely have to wait and see if this starts taking over the close quarters meta and everything. I don't really know. It's obviously not going to be as bad as the underbarrel FR556 or anything, but it still could get pretty frustrating. Maybe it will end up being like dual snake shot levels of frustrating when those were in the prime. So at the moment, my mentality on this is kind of wait and see. It might be overpowered. It might not be. We'll just see what happens now that the community is aware of this. But of course, those are just my opinions. I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think about the Dragon's Breath rounds on the R9-0? First up, what do you think about the fact that they can currently only be unlocked by buying a blueprint? Do you think that was intentional or just a bug that was completely unintentional? And then also, aside from that, what do you guys think about the power of the R9-0 with these Dragon's Breath shells? Just let me know all of those thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.